In October, we get ready to head to Tobago for Tobago Carnival from the 25th to the 27th of October. And as we get ready and we prepare, let me welcome the president of the Tobago October Carnival Association, Mr. Dexter Sandy. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Ruckus, and good morning to all your viewers.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm fine, thanks. Ready for the carnival.
You ready for the carnival? I love that. So, first of all, let me just backtrack a little bit and give us a quick recap of what you guys would have learned from last year's celebration that you're taking with you into this year's celebration.
Definitely, last year's celebrations, they really showed us that Scarborough is the location to host the Tobago October Carnival. In the first year, we'd have had a split between Scarborough and Crown Point, but last year we definitely moved and we centralized all the festivities in Scarborough, and it allowed for a smooth flow of masqueraders on the road, and it really enhanced the experience coming down that waterfront. So that's one of the main things that we're using from last year and we're bringing it into this year.
So we can safely say that the route isn't changing again.
Correct. We're just operationalizing the route a bit different this year. Over the past 2 years, the bands would have all started at one location. This year, what we're doing, the strategy is to start at different points on the route. So any spectator at any point will see an element of mass for the entire day.
Okay. And how do band leaders feel about this change?
Oh, the band leaders, they welcome the change. It really allows some of the bands to probably make the circuit twice in one day. So it really gives the masquerader a grander experience on the masquerade day itself.
Tell me about the general feedback from the band leaders as they get ready for this year's offering.
The band leaders are very elated. They're ready. I mean, bands have been launching from as early as May, June, been presenting their costumes to the public. I know bands would have left Tobago. They've been in Trinidad on the road marketing at different hotspot areas, or what I would call walk-in traffic areas. Persons have been on the malls. I know for Independence Day, we actually had an activation with the Festival Commission on the avenue. And we also had a bus crawl the week leading up to Independence, and that really drummed up a lot of interest. I know from the data that they provided, it's about 15,000 persons that they would have interacted with and expressed interest in coming to Tobago. So the band leaders are really energized. One main thing that we're looking forward to this year is an actual stage being built at the Market Square in Scarborough. A stage the size or a little smaller than the Queen's Park Savannah stage. That's one thing that we're really looking forward to, right? So the Tobago Assembly has pledged.
Tell me what inspired the stage, and what made you decide? What made you guys decide? Yes, this year we're going to include a stage.
The growth and the expansion of the carnival. We are seeing a lot more masqueraders coming out on the road. A lot of more persons are coming into the country just to experience Tobago Carnival. And the first 2 years, we used what we call the Stage by the Sea, which is located right next to the I Love Tobago sign.
Right.
And definitely we have outgrown that space. Yeah. So to elevate and to really put the carnival on an international standard, we must elevate our presentation. So looking at a stage which mimics what happens at the Queen's Park Savannah, or even the Soccer style, we really need to have that in place this year. We've been asking the THA for it, and we really hope that they do pull through with it. Outside of that, I mean, we've been going around to sponsors to see what kind of interest we could get in funding the stage. But definitely, the stage is needed for 2024.
All right, you mentioned 15,000 people would have been interacted with here in Trinidad when there was, of course, all that promotion going on around Independence time. In terms of managing the safety of masqueraders, band leaders, the entire carnival, what have you guys put in place, if anything, to bolster that security and that safety during this time?
Well, one thing that has happened over the last month, the head of the Tobago division, ACP Collis Hazel, he has pulled together an operational team which brings mostly the stakeholders that will be on the road for the carnival. Are we talking here the Regional Health Authority, Public Health, the Defense Force, Transport Police Service, the band leaders, Pan Trindago, the EMA. Everybody has been involved. The Tobago Emergency Management team, they have also been involved. So we are planning to ensure that anything that can happen, we are prepared for it. And in terms of safety, the police has also pledged that they are bringing up additional strength to ensure that the masqueraders throughout the season that they're going to be here for, that 3 days of activities, everybody's going to feel safe and secure. No matter if you're in a fete, whether you're on the road for Juve or Parade of the Bands, they will make sure that everybody is safe.
Tell me about any plans or any bolstering of accommodation and transport, because I know that oftentimes, let's say, just to get from Trinidad to Tobago, oftentimes when it's that high peak season, we tend to see people saying, well, they don't have enough seats, they don't have enough boat sailings, they don't have enough flights. Anything being put in place to say, are we ramping up during that time, or any assurances like that you've been given?
Yeah, well, on the point of transportation, the Port Authority came out very early and they indicated to us that the TNT Spirit will be back en route. And with that vessel being back en route, we are going to see at least 3 sailings per day rather than just 2. They've already pledged that, and the schedule is out. I know that tickets went like hot bread. Yeah. But at least for sure, the Port Authority has come out and pledged that sort of support. In terms of Caribbean Airlines, we've not had no official statement with regards to the flights. But one thing I must say is something that we actively check. Yeah, to be very fair, yesterday morning, a jet was put on, right? And by 9 a.m., it was gone. It was sold out, right? So that's to tell you the demand is there. Up to this morning, I would have checked, and I've seen a couple seats being available for the Friday to come from Port of Spain to Tobago, and as well as the return. So you're seeing where seats are being provided, probably not publicized that they're going to be provided in advance, but they are being provided. So we really would have hoped for a more strategic approach in terms of making sure that, for example, us, the masqueraders, we are able to get more of those masqueraders to Tobago, more us, the band leaders, rather, getting more of the masqueraders to be able to purchase tickets to come. Because we do have masqueraders who have purchased costumes, and they don't have an idea how to get into Tobago as yet. You know,
well,
they know they want to be in Tobago. They know they want to be in Tobago. Right. So we honestly check the portals every day and just send out blasts to our masqueraders. Hey, we've seen these seats open up, try and buy them.
And how has the conversation been going with the Tobago Hotels Association to be able to ensure accommodation is available for all these people who happen to make it across?
Yeah, we have been in conversation with Mr. Alpha Lord, who is the president of the association, and he said that his members are prepared. They have ramped up. They have even offered specials for that particular period. And we're seeing the advertising happening out there. I know many times persons may choose between the villa-style accommodation versus the hotels, but they're all available. And it's just to check in with your real estate agents and see what properties are available for you, and depend on the size of the team that's traveling.
Nice. So any tips you want to give anybody who's still on the fence about whether or not they want to come across to Tobago for October Carnival?
Oh, definitely. You took too long to decide. You know, if it is you haven't decided, then you took too long to decide. But there's still room for you. A lot of the bands have not been sold out just yet. So we're saying that there are a lot of costumes still available for sale, whether you're coming for contemporary mass, traditional mass, even if you're just coming for the Juve. A lot of bands still have costumes available for sale. So, you know, check out the welcometobago.com. That portal has the full listing of all the bands registered. And from there, you could see all the social media handles for all the bands and even the contacts for the band leaders to see which one you may favor and want to be participating.
Now, Dexter, when it comes to the size of the bands, do we have a variety as we do in Trinidad where you have small, medium, and large, or is it just all kind of around the same size?
Definitely, we have the different sizes of bands and the offerings from the bands to suit the pockets of the masquerader as well. So we do have, for example, for the Juve, we have over 33 bands registered for Juve,
Wow.
small to large, and the largest being Fog Angels. They usually have in excess of 2,000 persons on the road, yeah, for Juve morning. So we do have those large bands. We do have like Maslin and Associates, Carnival Jumbies, my band in particular, Iconic Mass. All these bands are prepared to host a wide range of persons in terms of the head count. And we do have room for everyone.
Dexter, how do you manage juggling being the president of Tobago October Carnival Association and having your own band? So you're managing the whole thing and then some.
Yeah, it's something that I've practiced within the last year because we only started just about 13, 14 months ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's kind of hard to not be biased to my band. You know, my team would always say, like, so you're always fighting up with Toka. But once you have the passion and the drive for the carnival, as I do, I am trying to make sure that one, Tobago Carnival wins. We must make sure that the product that we put out there is of international standard. We might not have the volume of the Mecca, but for every masquerade that plays on the road, they must feel welcome, whether their band is an all-inclusive band or not. You must feel that welcome and be able to refer somebody to come back next year. We want to see the carnival grow. We are making all the right steps as bands to make sure that when you do come across, you feel comfortable and safe.
Well, Dexter, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best as we head to October. We get ready to come across the Tobago October Carnival, yeah?
All right, Rockers. Morning to you and your viewers.
Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. That is Dexter Sandy, the president of the Tobago October Carnival Association, sharing with us some information and some updates as it relates to Tobago Carnival. Let's take that break and come back with more. When we come back, we're talking pan, so stay tuned.